We are so back. Welcome back to the Pack a Day Radio Show. It is the best segment on sports radio anywhere in the world. It is the Pack a Day Radio Show, along with the Mason Crosby Show, joining to make one beautiful collaboration, if we'll call it anything else. Fellas, how the heck are you guys doing?
What's up, Andy? How'd the show go this morning? You feeling pretty good? I know you had to hang out with Tommy for an hour, so I get him now for the next couple, so I'll take him off your hands. But
the hazard pay is good when you can get it.
That's exactly. Yeah. So kind of what was your big take this morning? What are you thinking about the game tonight? What's top of mind right now?
Yeah, feeling good. Happy to be chatting with you per usual. And yeah, to me, this is going to be a really fun game. I'm really just excited to see these two teams go at it. Thursday night football underneath the lights, Lambeau Field. What more could you possibly want? But yeah, really looking for Green Bay to get that run game going. Try to contain Jaden Daniels as much as possible. And yeah, if Green Bay can start running the ball with a little bit more consistency than we saw last week, I think that's kind of the final piece that puts all of this together. I like Mason. When I went back and watched the tape on this one, the defense flying around the way that they did. Yeah. I love Jeff Hafley talking about when he pauses the play at the end of the play, he wants to see all 11 Packers in the frame, and that's how he judges if people are rallying to the football or not. I've never heard it defined that way before, and you could tell that players were taking that to heart because you would get to the end of the play. I don't know if it was all 11, but there were a ton of Packers jerseys in the frame every time. But I love that how he defined that of all 11 in the frame when you pause it at the end of the play. That was a cool way of thinking about it.
Yeah, no, that's a great example. And I mean, it was 3 or 4 like at the ball almost every time they were making a tackle. I mean, it was awesome. And it wasn't like, all right, the guy's got the tackle, like time to just take a break. It's like everybody was finishing and they were off their blocks. It wasn't like, all right, we're just straining, trying to kind of like, just kind of hold our space. It was like, get off your block. You're a free man to the ball. Go make a hit, an impact. I mean, that Packers defense looked faster and more physical than the Lions, which hasn't happened in a while. Like, I feel like in a while where it was like the Packers were the fastest team on the field, right? Like it was just a dominant performance. And, speaking of fast, I was telling Tommy this before we jumped on. I'm like, how cool would it be to be Micah Parsons and just like call Jaden Daniels out and be like, dude, you're not faster than me. Like if you run away from me, I will chase you down and tackle you. I mean, it's like, that is a dog. And that is something that like, you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I've ever been able to say that ever in my life. Maybe to my kids, right? I can chase you down and get you.
Well, I mean, the fun thing is that, well, he's probably not wrong. 4.5 sacks of Jaden Daniels this past year, which is incredible in and of itself.
Yeah, he's played him. Yeah, he played him a lot last year.
Yeah, played him twice, obviously. And then, so I think the other thing too is as we were talking to our guest, Jamal Forrest, who's from Hogs Haven this past, a couple segments ago, it's just crazy. And it's so real of like the first thing that stood out to him and the first thing he wanted to talk about was the Packers defense. Like, and it's the first thing that I wanted to talk about too. It's like, this has been an offensive team for so long with obviously Brett and Aaron. And I think it still is going to be a good offensive team, obviously with Jordan, but for the first time in so long, it's like the opening thing that you're talking about right now is this Packers defense, deservedly so. It's a defensive football team. It's crazy to say we haven't had many of those in Green Bay over the course of the last few decades.
Yeah, and we have had those teams, but Aaron always still, was doing his thing. But it's like those, the defense was more like a byproduct of what how explosive the offense was, right? So, but yes, again, it takes pressure off Jordan Love. It takes pressure off that offense. Now it's like, let's just go execute at a high level. Let's try to keep the ball, as long as we possibly can. And then whenever our defense is on the field, they're just going to unleash everything on these teams. And now, like you're saying, Jaden Daniel, like they're all thinking about the defense and what they have to do to try to break them down. And so now Jordan Love and they can just go out there and do their thing. I mean, it just it opens up like so many options for that offense. And I can't wait. I can't wait for tonight. I think it's going to be a fun, great atmosphere there in Lambeau Field. And I'm excited for this one. I think this is going to be another big measuring stick. Obviously, Commanders already getting a win. They have an electric offense. I mean, I actually kind of forgot Deebo Samuel was on their team until like that last week, because just hadn't seen a lot from him through the offseason whenever he went out there. But he got a touchdown. He looked like he was doing his thing again. So I'm excited about this one. I think it's going to be a real good measuring stick for this Packers team.
I was going to say revitalized Deebo Samuel. He looked better, quicker, faster, stronger than he did in the last couple of seasons. So he looked really good, and he's definitely going to be a factor tonight. I know you've got an epic Mason Crosby show coming up. What are you excited about today?
Yeah. So it is 9/11. We're remembering and not forgetting what happened there in 2001, and what better way to kind of honor that and remember that. Chris GIZZI, longtime strength and conditioning coach, player there in Green Bay, he carried that flag out 24 years ago on the weekend after 9/11 happened, and so we're gonna talk to him and just kind of reminisce about like what that experience was like, what that meant to him, as we're breaking down this game and kind of talking about what Packers and Commanders are going to do tonight. So I can't wait to catch up with him and talk about like what the emotion and what that felt like to run that flag out on that field after 9/11.
Yeah, I'm excited for that as well. Certainly we'll be tuning in. Should be a really great show today. Should be a really fun Packers Commanders game tonight. I can't wait to hear your prediction as well. Are you and Mitch doing predictions? Are you Tommy doing predictions?
Oh yeah, we got picks today, Andy.
We got them all.
We got picks.
All right. Cannot wait to hear that.
Andy, help me with my individual pick. Who do you think I should take? I was looking at some different things. Maybe even some NCAA women's volleyball. I think.
Andy, expert at that too. So feel free.
If you want all my all of my NCAA women's volleyball takes are behind a paywall, so you have to pay for those. My apologies.
Hey, Andy, never mind. I already know what I'm doing. I just looked at who Liverpool's playing. So
I was going to say that
taking
might be a good one.
I'm taking. Yeah, they're playing Burnley. So that's an easy win, and that's what I'm all about. I'm just for that low hanging fruit. I'm trying to get those guaranteed victories under my belt.
Minus 260 for Liverpool. It seems a little bit low. It would be very Liverpool to minus 300 is right now the money line.
Burnley's plus 650. Yeah,
seven. Yeah. I feel like you're probably pretty good there. Although it would be very Liverpool to somehow find a tie in this one.
Find a tie. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll get that. Hope this should be a fun weekend for Liverpool as well. Hopefully going 4-0 and just taking the entire league by storm per usual. And that's what the people really want to hear about. So if you want to take the next 2 hours just to talk about that, I will certainly be tuning in, Mason.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I always throw a little soccer in every once in a while, just at Tommy and Mitch's dismay. But Tommy's coming on board. I think we're creating a soccer fan right in front of our eyes here.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. I just love that I get to talk a little soccer with you. I get to talk a little bit of wrestling with Mitch from time to time, and you guys get your little fix in, and then we can annoy Tommy and everyone else in the process. It's a win-win for at least us.
For sure. I appreciate you, Andy.
Appreciate you as well. Thank you to Tommy for helping out all segment long. You got a lot more Tommy coming up today, so enjoy the heck out of it. Stay tuned for the Mason Crosby Show again with Mason and Tommy now, Mason and Mitch later, 9 to 11 today here on The Fan. Find the Pack a Day Podcast 365 wherever you get your favorite pods. Back tomorrow with Ross Uglum, hopefully for a Victory Friday. This has been the Pack a Day Radio Show. Enjoy your Packers game day, and of course, go Pack Go.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee, on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
It is the Mason Crosby Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Tommy Wirtz here with you for the first hour or so, joined by the Packers' all-time leading scorer, Mr. Mason Crosby. Good morning, Mason.
Good morning. Yeah, I was... another night, another charity event last night. So this was the gala part of the golf event I played on Tuesday.
Got it. Yeah.
When did that? It was, what a cool night. Just trying to raise money for a great cause, and some great music. Being down here in Nashville, never lacking in the music space. So had a fun night. But yeah, ready to talk some ball. obviously today, just remembering 9/11 as it is September 11th, and it's something that weighs heavy on my heart, just kind of looking back and thinking about that moment, in time, and remember all those that lost loved ones and were affected by it. So I never want to forget that, and it's important to always look back and have that. That's why it's so great. We're gonna have Chris GIZZI jump on the show here at 9:40 just to discuss that moment. I mean, everyone, that picture is so iconic of him running the flag out. He went to the Air Force Academy, was in U.S. Air Force Reserve at the time while he was on the Packers. So I can't wait to talk to him and catch up and just kind of pick his brain on like how that felt.
Yeah, I can't. That's going to be a powerful, like intense, I'm sure, and amazing experience. So 9:40 today with Chris GIZZI, former Packers linebacker, strength coach, Air Force Academy grad. That'll be truly something to listen to. It is the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz here with you. We do have a football game today. And, it is an exciting football game, right? You have the Green Bay Packers, the Washington Commanders, the Packers, maybe the most impressive team in week one. The Commanders, a team in the NFC Championship game last season. Two young quarterbacks going at it, a defensive player in Micah Parsons. Everyone's excited to go watch. Nicolay Law fan talking text line 414-677-1250. If you want to join the program, be a part of the show today. How serious do the Packers become in the NFL landscape with a win tonight? And I like
that question.
I think that they've already become in the conversation. Like it took 1 week.
They jumped right to the top.
With Micah Parsons, it took 1 week to be like, okay, let's watch the Packers. I think if there's a win in week 2, it's okay. How serious are the Packers, Mason?
I like that. I like how you put that. I mean, you keep saying Micah Parsons, and I'm just like, is he really on the Green Bay Packers? I mean, this is still this is still reality that we're living in right now. And the fact that, again, like he does not handle the football. Like he does not have the ball in his hands at any point unless he gets a turnover. And he is the most talked about player right now, like from both sides. It's just like, what's Micah Parsons going to do to affect Jaden Daniels? What's he going to do to that offensive line? Like, what is Micah Parsons? Like, we need to know where he is at all times because he is going to affect this game in some form or fashion. I mean, he showed right away. What did he have last week? 29 snaps.
Yep.
And I mean, he had 3 pressures, but you just knew they had to account for him every time he's on the field. So then, like we talked about that in the crossover with Andy, I think that frees up this offense so much, right? It's like Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, they can, pound the rock, try to control the clock. And then you just open it up to all your playmakers on the outside, because if you try to play man coverage against them, the Packers offense is good enough. Like, they will get open. They will find space. They will kind of tear you up, because this offensive line has also showed that they can protect really well, like they did against the Lions. So I think the sky's the limit for this team. And I do think tonight, we didn't know what the Lions were going to be, right? Like, they lost their coordinators, all of those things. Tonight, probably after that first game, after we saw what happened, tonight's a bigger measuring stick now in recency bias than even that Lions game was.
No, I completely agree.
Now it's just like, all right, the Commanders won a game. They obviously are still good. They're, carried over what they had last year. They added some pieces as well. So this is going to be a really big battle, and I think offensively, the Commanders are going to be a lot tougher for this defense. So we're going to really see what this defense is about against a really good Commanders team.
Yeah, and I think that Jaden Daniels is probably going to be one of the best quarterbacks, right? They face all season long. Yeah. This is a guy who has the mobility. He took the league by storm last year as a rookie, and I talked about it a little bit with Andy as far as the Pack-A-Day radio show. I'm excited to see how the Packers approach that with the mobility of that quarterback. And I really developed that because the Monday night game, going back to Vikings and Chicago, I thought that when those quarterbacks got moving, that's when their offenses started to get moving a little more in those games. That's when you saw the offense being the most effective for Chicago and for Minnesota. In my head, Jaden Daniels is a way more mobile quarterback and way better runner than either of the other two options of Caleb Williams and J.J. McCarthy. If the Packers are able to approach it and contain Jaden Daniels from really using his legs to be a weapon, then they should be able to do the same within the NFC North, Mason.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like you see, so all the different fronts that Hafley was throwing at the Lions. And I'm sure we'll see some unique different ones tonight to combat Jane Daniels, get his eyes, looking at different things. So he can't just be confident back there. Like, all right, the play we have called, this should be a solid play for what they're showing us. Like whenever they showed Van Ness lined up like in their cheetah package, right? And it's like he drops out. Quay Walker fills in. I mean, they were showing it on ESPN this morning. And literally, we didn't have a nose tackle in that formation. I mean, there was like 5 yards between our defenders. And then they just kind of replaced. Van Ness drops into the flats, forces Goff to the flats, and then he goes out there and makes a great play. So I think Hafley's going to throw a lot of that just to get Jane Daniels' eyes, really confused on what's going on that defensive front. And then, like I said, then I think it's just this offense and Jordan Love. It's going to be the Jordan Love show because I do think he's going to have to put up points and do a little bit more this, tonight than he probably had to, was expected to do against the Lions just because the defense dominated that offense. It's hard to imagine that they're going to just shut the Commanders down. But who knows? I mean, who knows? They could, but I expect Jordan Love and this offense to take it to another level and try to put a lot of points on the board.
I think it's the first time in my lifetime where I find myself just wanting to watch the Packers on defense more than I want to watch them on offense.
That's funny.
Actually, because obviously, my youth is Favre, and then Rodgers is really in my formative years. Like I always want to watch the quarterback, and Jordan Love. Even the last 2 years, I'm a big supporter of Jordan Love. I think he is the guy for the job, and I don't take away from that this year, but after you make the trade for Micah Parsons and then you see week one's performance, it's very reminiscent of, I don't even want to watch the Brewers hit. I want to watch Jacob Mizorowski pitch, right? That was more, it's the exact same idea of, I want to give the Packers a 21-point lead and just play defense the whole game and see if they can hold them under 21 every single game. I think there is a possibility of that when it comes to this Packers defense. And I'm really excited to see what comes of it today against the Washington Commanders. It is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. Tommy Wirtz, Mason Crosby. How serious are the Packers becoming in the NFL landscape with a win tonight? Mason, does it make them a top 2 team in the league?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, like with a win tonight, obviously, like even a win last week, I mean, everyone kind of put them towards the top. Right. I will say, other than, the Bills beating the Ravens, I mean, this was the best, that was the best win in the NFL last week. It was dominant. It was, the Bills defense still going to give up points. Like you got to have Josh Allen go out there and score 41 points to win a game. So I think they're already getting pushed up to the top, and like they're like this game tonight against a good Commanders team will take them over that threshold. Yes, we're only 2 games into the season. It's early. Let's say, we'll take a chill pill, but I do think this is one of those defining games where it's like, all right, this is a playoff team. They were in the NFC Championship last year. Like, this is a good team. They added pieces. I think the Commanders did a lot of this, a lot of similar things to what like the Packers moves this year, right? They brought in Deebo Samuel. They brought in somebody that like they kind of felt like could give them a spark, just like Packers added Matthew Golden and like shored up some of that receiver room. So I believe that this will take them over that threshold where it's like, all right, yeah, it's Packers are the best team until, someone else proves otherwise, right? Until somebody, stops them. And if you go 2-0 against these 2 NFC opponents, like you're in a really good spot, heading into this stretch, because you're not going to play another NFC North team until November,
November 23rd, I believe is the next time,
which is insane. So now it's just you stack success on success all over. And then, you play, then you go to Cleveland. Then it's like you kind of can find a path to where this thing could be looking really good come November 23rd. And this Packers team could be in a really good spot.
I think that's how everyone's feeling. And who will you be watching the closest? Who will you be analyzing the hardest on the field today? We'll get to that on the other side. It is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Want to remind you can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year, $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Welcome back to the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wirtz, Mason Crosby here with you. 20 minutes or so from now, Chris GIZZI going to join the program, former Packers linebacker, Air Force Academy grad, two-time Defensive Player of the Year in the WAC back in the day. Did you know that?
I love it.
Yeah. He'll join us at 9:40, talk a little bit as it's now 24 years since he ran out with the flag out of the Lambeau Field tunnel That's crazy to say out loud.
I know, 24 years ago. Jeez.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like, I mean, you said the WAC. I mean, I think so. It was probably the WAC. It was the Big 8, wasn't it? Like Southwest. Like, was it the Southwest Conference as well? Like,
I remember Pac-10,
the SWAC,
right? Yeah, all of that.
You remember Pac-10? Like
Pac-10,
that was,
right?
That
Yeah,
was
I know
so
there
long.
was a Pac-8. Yeah. Well, it was Pac-12 too. Don't forget.
Yeah, Pac-12. Yeah, Pac-10. You had. Yeah, I mean, now we have just mega conferences. It's just like now there's 18 teams in the Big Ten.
The Mega 10 now in the Big Ten. The Mega 10.
It's still the Big Ten, but there's 35 teams.
Yes.
It's fine. Like, whatever.
It's
we
only
whatever
gonna get
we
bigger.
want to call it.
It's only going to grow. So just keep screaming at those clouds, man, because they will. It's only going to get bigger.
You know what time it is, though? These are not banned on our show.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
You got some salts?
I got the salts.
Yeah.
I got those smelling salts. And I think we got to hit some before Chris GIZZI comes on. I mean, I gotta get ready for this thing.
Mine are in the other room, so I can't reach them right now. But I got you. I have some. Maybe before picks or Chris GIZZI. Yeah,
Ooh.
All of it.
Before picks could get crazy.
Picks could get crazy. Talking about the question that we gave out, Nicolay Law fans talking text line 414-677-1250 if you want to join the show. Who on the Packers are you watching the hardest tonight, analyzing the most in the game against the Washington Commanders tonight at Lambeau Field? They're wearing all whites. How do you feel about the all whites at home?
Dude, I think it's clean. I love it.
Yeah,
right. I love that. I love that look. And like everybody else, everyone in the stands, like it's a cool look.
Sure.
I think it's going to be pretty electric, and especially on a Thursday night game, like it's fun to change it up a little bit.
I'm looking at my guys. Okay, the irony, I guess, or the sarcasm that I'm trying to go after. It's Rashawn Gary, Lucas Van Ness for me today again.
Okay.
Because
watching them.
we saw them last week put up some of their best performances they ever have as a Packer. And something to be noted about Rashawn Gary, his sack that he got, Micah Parsons was not on the field. That is massive for Rashawn Gary. And I know he did that, 7.5 times last year, but really looking at Lucas Van Ness, who put up maybe his best game as a member of the Green Bay Packers. We heard Micah Parsons in post-game give him nothing but praise and love that entire time as well. I assume and expect Micah Parsons to be on his A game every single week at this point.
Yeah.
But it's the other two guys now, the rotational and the complementary piece of Micah Parsons. That's where I want to look at, because if that can be consistent all year, Mason, I think the Packers defense is completely miles ahead of other teams in this league.
Well, I agree with you. I think those are two good ones, but I have others, but I want to say something about Van Ness and like what Micah Parsons, did there, right?
Yeah.
Like what a innocent, a classy move, but what a good teammate coming in. You basically take his job. Like Van Ness is sitting there thinking like, I'm going to be, this side I'm going to be on this side of the line trying to, get sacks and do my thing. Micah Parsons comes in and says like, hey, you're going to you can be great. I'm going to help you to be great. Right. And he doesn't just say like, I'm not taking your job. We're going to be on the field a lot together, and I want you to take it to the next level. And I mean, we saw it last week. I mean, Van Ness, I was talking about the one where they had a crazy formation, a lot of space in the middle. Insert Quay Walker. Van Ness drops into the flats. Gibbs catches the ball. Cooper didn't get him down on the ground right away. Van Ness flies over there and just cleans him up, and it's like that is exceptional. And like Van Ness is taking that step. But the position, and it's probably a group that I'm going to be watching a lot tonight on the defensive side of the ball, is that cornerback room. Sure. Because I do think they're going to have a little more work tonight. Like, Jaden Daniels with McLaurin, with Debo Samuel, like they're going to try to stretch the ball down the field a little bit more. It's like, is Nate Hobbs going to play? He's questionable still. Bo Melton's been ruled out. Brenton Cox has been ruled out, and we have a few guys questionable. So, all right, is Nate Hobbs going to play? If he plays, I'm going to be watching him a lot. And then you're just going to see like, what does this defensive secondary? What do they do once they are tested? Because I mean, I feel like last week, I mean, were they even tested? I mean, it was it was very minimal at like, how they were tested. And when they were, Evan Williams gets a pick, right? And then they got a trash time touchdown. That was an amazing catch. So it's like, I feel like the secondary still has something to prove just because it is week 2 and they just really weren't tested all that much. So for me, I'm going to be watching those DBs very closely tonight.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz, Mason Crosby, talking about what position, player, group of positions and players are you watching the hardest tonight in the Packers Week 2 matchup against the Washington Commanders. So what if we go back to the offensive side then?
Yeah.
All right. So I think that the defense is the most intriguing part of the game. But as far as need to prove something, maybe more of those people on the offensive side than on the defensive side, Mason, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Jacobs, pretty underwhelming performance, had a very rough first half, especially against Detroit last week, and no receiver really separating by any means, with everyone eating and everyone getting their own sort of receptions along the way. 10 different guys on just 16 completions for Jordan Love. What are you looking at if you want to eliminate Jordan Love from the equation? Where does your mind go on the offensive side? Who are you looking at to see a performance out of for week 2?
I mean, you named a lot of position groups and a lot of people there, but you forgot my favorite, the offensive line.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be watching a lot of that, especially if Tom doesn't play. So now, all right, you're starting Kennard, or is Jordan Morgan getting a look there? Like, what's that going to be, right? I don't know if Banks. I think. Let's see, Banks. He's still on the injury report. An ankle and a groin. That's questionable. I'm sure he's going to play.
Okay.
But I'm going to be watching that offensive line pretty closely from the start. So that's number one. Like, I just want to see if, all right, can they hold up with a new guy in that spot if Tom doesn't go? And then I'm going to be watching Romeo Doubs. I think that's kind of my guy, where it's like, okay, is Jordan going to define that number one? Like, is that going to happen at some point, or is this just going to be wide receiver by committee? So I'm going to be watching Doubs. How is he, what is he doing? Is he going to get targeted a little bit more? And if he does, like, what does that look like? I mean, every route he ran, like the catches he had, I mean, he was in great form. I mean, he looked amazing in that game against the Lions. So it's like, and his energy was amazing, right? I think somebody posted, they're just like, Romeo Doubs showing excitement, like, inject that in my veins, right? Like, it's just like,
right.
Don't see it all the time, but he almost had that, like, a different energy about him. And so I'm looking for him to carry that over and just kind of, if he's going to be the top receiver on this team, see if he can't separate himself and become that target for Jordan Love.
Well, I'll go in the same vein then as well, but Matthew Golden is the guy you got to watch in week number 2. I know it takes a couple of weeks usually to get a rookie fully acclimated to an NFL offense, learning the playbook and developing that trust with your quarterback. But on all accounts, it was all preseason how far ahead he was of everyone else in that wide receiver room. And if you're looking to see someone create that separation or define that number one wide receiver role, if it's going to be anyone other than Christian Watson this season when he comes back, it's going to be Matthew Golden in my mind. I think Doubs is a safety net. I think Wicks is the same thing, a security blanket, if you will. Tucker Kraft, I don't think.
Don't forget Jaden Reed. I mean, this team is loaded at the receiver position. If those guys, just keep going off like they did.
But it also feels like they just have a higher floor than anyone else, more than they do have
a lot of guys,
a ceiling that could be reached more than anywhere. And really, Christian Watson gets his extension yesterday. It sounds like he's progressing a lot faster. The approach, it felt like yesterday or last week with Green Bay, felt more like, hey, we're going to wait this out until Christian gets here. And I want to know if they're going to have that same approach in week 2. If any receiver can destroy that argument, in my opinion, it's Matthew Golden.
Okay. And here's just a thought I'm having, and I'm going to be curious to see. So I'm going to put it out there, and I want to see if I know anything about ball. Maybe I don't, but kind of how I see this game, and like what I talked about for the Lions, they did a lot of that, right? They loaded the box, kind of, all right, are the Lions going to try to stop the run? Obviously, that was their main focus. You had a lot of really tight personnel early on, giving Josh Jacobs the ball, and then just kind of running good, good route trees off of that. Finding Matthew Golden across the field, getting Dobbs a cat. It's like get Tucker Kraft the ball where you can. I could see it tonight, though, going the opposite approach, where you almost pass to run. Right? It's like, come out in this game and spread it out on this Commanders defense. Just show them something that like you don't traditionally do early in the game. And it's like, all right, we're spreading you out. We're gonna throw the ball. We're gonna get the ball on the outside, and then you kind of transition back and you bring stuff in and you run Josh in different ways. Like I could see that just to break a tendency where it's like, hey, we're not starting this game with 2 tight ends. We're gonna spread you out. We're gonna make you play the whole field. And then we're going to bring you back into the box and see if you can't stop our power run game. Like I would love to see that like kind of yo-yo from this offense, because then it's like no one can hang their hat on what you're going to do any given week. And those are the types of tendencies you have to break as often as you possibly can.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz, Mason Crosby here talking about Packers Commanders. I want to ask you a question based off of that. If you are Washington or you are Green Bay and you see the performance of your opponent the week before looks reminiscent of the Green Bay Packers and Detroit, what is the game plan now? Because Detroit, right, they came in and they loaded the box and they were going to stop the run and they weren't going to let Josh Jacobs be the guy to beat you during that stretch. Now you saw what happened. We're going to let Jordan Love open things up, and the offense was able to move the ball in totally a different way than what Detroit expected in that first half.
Yeah.
If you are Washington now, do you say, hey, we can do that approach better than Detroit? Or, hey, we should probably switch up and maybe take a couple of people out of the box and we'll take our chances with Josh Jacobs?
I wouldn't take my chances with Josh Jacobs. I
understand,
but I will say this defensive line for the Commanders is pretty stout. I mean, Deron Payne and Javon Kinlaw, good interior defensive linemen. And then do you remember they have Von Miller on their team? I forget. Like we said that the other day, he was on the injury report. Right, You're like, oh yeah, Von Miller's on their team. But they got Bobby Wagner, Von Miller. They're solid on defense. I mean, I'm kind of looking across, Marshawn Lattimore there at corner. So I do feel like they're going to try to not load that box and like not let us get downfield. But that's also why I'm like, spread them out, show them something. And then you bring them into the box and you pound that rock if you want to, and then run some stuff off of it. So I do think, honestly, when I look at this team and I look at what the Commanders did last week, how they kind of built and kind of rebuilt this team or added some pieces, this is definitely going to be a tougher test than what we saw the Lions. Like no one kind of knew what the Lions were going to come out looking like with the loss of their coordinators and all that. You know what you're getting with the Commanders. You know what kind of team they are, and this is going to be a tough test. And I feel like the Packers are up to it. I feel like the defense, we're going to see how good they are against this Commanders team. And yeah, I'm excited for it. I think that I think that this is going to just be that measuring stick we all were hoping to see. It's unique as well that it's Packers, the youngest team in the NFL, versus the Commanders, the oldest team in the NFL. I guess it's like a 4-year gap, which is it's kind of wild to think.
Mm-hmm.
What, like Packers are like 24.9 average age.
Well, you throw Von Miller on your team, and he's 703 years old.
Austin Eckler's pretty has played a few years. He's been out there for a while.
Is Bobby Wagner still
there
too?
Ertz,
Yep,
Zach Ertz is old Bobby Wagner.
Yep.
I mean, so some of their staples. So they've gone more of that veteran approach. And I talked about the Commanders last year. They're completely built completely different. Rookie quarterback last year, young quarterback doing their thing. And you have a kind of an older, veteran head coach in Dan Quinn. And then it's just like, let's put a lot of good veterans, established guys on this roster just to kind of lead the way and let our young guys develop and do their thing. Right. So a completely different philosophy on how these teams are built. And I think it's going to be exciting to see if the young, hungry, electric, fast team of the Green Bay Packers can hold up against a, more of like a Grizzly veteran team, if you want to say that, in the Washington Commanders.
Well, we will definitely be talking Packers, Commanders all day long here on the Fan, middays with Thunder, with Mitch Thunder Nellis from 11 to 2 and Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's from 2 to 5 with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. Don't forget the Green Bay football post-game show immediately after the Green Bay Packers and Washington Commanders play in week number 2 tonight. I will be there with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer breaking down the game as well. Ryan Wood joins the program at some point in there as well. He'll get you some great sound and other reports from Green Bay. But next up, Chris GIZZI, former Green Bay Packer. If you remember the name, he ran out with the American flag in the first game at Lambeau Field after the 9/11 terrorist attacks. When Mason said he could get him on today, I just thought absolutely, like, that's going to be extremely powerful, impactful conversation to have. And obviously with the last 24 hours of what's gone on in America, like, it's just, it's a wild time again, a wild thing to think that the 9/11 attacks are 24 years ago now. And it really felt like yesterday, we need some more unity again, some more unity in the community. And I think that this conversation with Chris is going to be one that you'll want to listen back to a couple of times.
For sure. Yeah. And, I was kind of reflecting this morning, and it's just like, there's so many great quotes and great, moments in history, great leaders in this world that have, like, they've looked to sports, right? Like, sports can unify, sports can, bring, people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different beliefs, and bring them together for one common goal. So, like, we're here for that. We're talking sports, but I can't wait to talk to Chris GIZZI. We're going to talk ball with him as well, but I can't wait to talk to him about what that felt like in that moment, even, especially being an Air Force Academy guy and being in the reserves at the time.
Mitch Nellis is going to join the program on the other side as well. He'll take over for the rest of the show. It is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. My name is Mitch Nelson, a.k.a. Thunder. Tommy let you know I was coming on. Mason Crosby in the house. What up, Mace? Good to see you,
What's up, buddy? Yeah, good to see you too.
I figured this was an appropriate jam. This is wow, you're clean shaven, huh?
I know, yeah.
Man.
I had some charity events. I had to look
there.
nice. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get right to it. Joining us now on this day of remembrance here in the United States, the man who carried the flag after 9/11 for our Green Bay Packers, Chris GIZZI. Chris, thanks so much for jumping on the show today.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey, Chris, man, I appreciate you jumping on, and let's get right into it. I mean, just even seeing the picture, we put up a picture on YouTube, and it's been kind of all over the place, surrounding this day. And I was reading an article that you did some interviews for, but I just want you to tell everybody, what kind of transpired in that moment after the 9/11 attacks, deciding to get back on the field and play football. It was a Monday night game. Oddly enough, Packers are playing the Commanders tonight. Y'all were playing the Washington Redskins at the time on that Monday night. So just kind of walk us through what those conversations were, and what that meant. As you ran out on the field carrying that American flag.
Well, it's interesting. It's kind of in a way changed as we get perspective on what has happened to the country since then.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's like when the attacks happened, certainly there was a consciousness and awareness and a coming together that was very unique. And the moment of getting back to playing was, I guess that's, as a player, you're kind of shrouded in hey, we're back to work. And so you're in work mode. But certainly going out on the field, and not even until I got on the field, I didn't know how special it was. And with the years, 24 now, going on, I think it's even more special now to me and the people that come up to me and speak about it and speak their emotions and what they were thinking. It's a very powerful moment. I'm glad I was able to be a part of that. And it really was a coming together at that time. And then I think as we remember it, we unite a little bit more about those moments in time and even what we're facing now in our daily lives. So that's what sports are about. They're the greatest social common denominator we have. And, for us to be able to come together and have a common goal when it comes to winning a football game, and I think then we find out we have more in common than we think we do. And that's what it's all about for me.
I love that. I love that for sure. I mean, it was just one of those moments in time where it's okay, we can show that this moment, this attack on our country isn't going to stop us from living our lives, and we're going to keep pushing forward. We're going to do our thing. You ran on that field and you talked about the ground shaking and the energy and the excitement. What was it emotional? What were you feeling in that moment as you carried that flag out onto the field?
Well, it was something else. I've there's rare occasions on Lambeau where the ground shakes, like a Monday Night Miracle, a Favre underhand pass, where
exactly.
he shoots one out left-handed, submarine style, and the place goes nuts. And I think that's what stepping out of the tunnel and the crowd getting back into it, all the emotion, energy, and they carried me across that field. I know that for sure.
Oh man, and you were at the time an Air Force Reserve, right? So was there a moment in time where you were okay, I mean, if I get called, I might have to go and serve in that time? Was that a potential something that was in your mind and something that could have actually happened?
Yeah, 100%. I spoke with my commanding reserve officer that day. We're really almost within an hour of the events going down and us processing everything. And I think where it came down to, and as things settled in over that week, I was very forthright with the Packers, and the Packers were 100% in support of what I was doing, what the military needed from me. I mean, there was no hesitation on anyone's part to be forthright in the conversation about where my priorities were. And as the decision came down, I followed orders like, hey, you keep rocking it for the Packers. You keep recruiting for us. You keep being a representative of who we are as an Air Force, as a military. And, those were my marching orders, and I stuck to them. So it was a unique time. And I think when you talk to your friends, I mean, think about it, Mace, like we've been in a huddle. The guys and gals, even going to school, guys and gals at the Air Force, they were up in the air fighting the battle as soon as that attack went down. And they couldn't share everything they were doing with me, but they were in harm's way. They were out there defending the country immediately. And certainly you want to do everything you can. I think every American does. What can I do? And sometimes that's about supporting folks. Sometimes that's doing whatever it takes in our daily lives. And I think that's how I looked at it. Like, man, what can I do here? And I think then when you get and receive feedback and thanks from those folks who are out there putting it on the line, that was, to say it was satisfying kind of underscores it. It's like, all right, I just want to be part of the team. I want to keep pulling in the right direction. I want to support you guys. And the fact that I think that was the day we didn't have text messages or anything.
Yeah,
then.
exactly.
My voicemail box was filled up, and a lot of people, left a voicemail. But some people you didn't even know would leave a voicemail, and these were commanders from around the world and wanting to say thank you, because I think it gave everyone a shot in the arm who was deployed or who was in a forward area, or wherever it might be. They were in harm's way protecting our country. And I think it was like, hey, I'm glad back home people are thinking about us.
We got Chris GIZZI on the Mason Crosby Show, former Packers linebacker, longtime Packers strength and conditioning coach, Air Force Academy grad, and everyone knows this iconic picture. So, if you haven't seen it, check out the picture of Chris GIZZI running that American flag on the field. A week removed from the 9/11 attacks back in 2001. Can't believe it's been 24 years, right? And it's like, man, like we can't ever forget that. And like, especially with, stuff that's transpired in our, country in the last day as well, just like we need, to remember these moments and say, hey, sports, these things they can help unify. They can help, bring people together from so many different spaces. And we can look at the Green Bay Packers. We can look at, sports teams and say, all right, like we have this common goal, we have this common interest, and we're going to go chase it. But yeah, I just, I want to talk a little bit more too, just about, what were those conversations like? What were the guys in the locker room like in the days after, the attacks? I remember I was in high school at the time, sorry, a little bit younger than you are, Chris, but I was in high school. And I still remember, like, we went and played a game, I think on that Friday night, and, you're just kind of like, it was surreal. It was hard to talk about. But again, I think, like you said, it's kind of a wild moment when you get back into that locker room, when you start doing your thing. You kind of, you don't forget, but you're just kind of like, all right, like this feels good. This feels normal. What was that feeling before y'all ran out? Like, can you remember just how that felt, and like what any kind of conversations you had with your teammates surrounding all of it?
Yeah, leading up to the game, it's kind of business as usual, Mace. Like, I know, the week after 9/11, that was different. We were healing. The schedule was different, and everyone was reaching out, sharing stories. Certainly, guys would ask me, "Hey, are you going to have to go and leave?" I'm like, "Hey, this is what they're telling me right now. I'm here." And guys were concerned about me as a person, which is it's sometimes it's hard for us all, as especially a group of with its 80 players and all the coaches and support involved, to sometimes think of personal lives, because we are so busy working for the very common goal and the tough thing you do as a pro football player. But there was a genuine concern for everyone. People who had family in DC and New York, that was across the board and across the league too. Like, everyone was in support of each other. I think when we got back to playing it, in a way, that's the biggest way to honor that. Hey, it's time to get back to it, and you have a game face. Now, I think when we had the moment of running out in the field, Oh, and it was like a breath of fresh air out. The moment I remember is I'm a little gassed after it. I'm breathing heavy. The special teams coach, Frank Novak, comes up to me.
Yeah.
And Frank's just a heart of gold, fiery guy. And he's bawling. He's crying. I'm probably bawling too, shaking. And he's like, "GIZZI, you wild man, what are you doing?" He's got that thick Italian accent to him. He's shaking. He's grabbing me. He's like, "That was awesome. This, that." And he calms down. He's like, "You're still good for this opening kickoff, right?" I'm like, "Frank, I got you, bro."
Yeah, right. You're good. Right?
That's sort of that mentality of like, hey, we're able to take a deep breath and we're able to be connected. All right, let's go play football and do what we do. And, in a way that was a break for us, those 3 hours to truly get absorbed in something and not necessarily have to think about all the things that are obviously happening in our lives. And again, that's the beauty of the game for everyone.
Yeah, there's healing in that moment right away, for sure. I think Mitch has something for you. Go ahead, Mitch.
Hey, Chris. Chris GIZZI with us here on the fan guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. And Chris, I am a little bit older than Mason, so like you, I was working, and I could tell my story at some point. But I think one of the things about September 11th, 2001 is everybody has that story of where they were when they heard that the towers were hit, that the Pentagon was hit. Where it was a Tuesday morning, so I don't know if the schedule was the same back then, but I know that Tuesdays is often the off day for football players. Where were you that Tuesday morning?
Yeah, it was an off day. I was, usually we went in a little bit later. There was nothing on the schedule. Like I said, it was an off day, but most guys in Green Bay would go in just to get a kind of head start on the week. So you wrap the last game on Monday, and then you get into the next week, Tuesday. So I think that's where we started moving on the Tuesday. I threw the TV on. I don't know why. Like, I never throw the TV on. I was really just in a 1-bedroom apartment. I'd make breakfast. I'd be out the door. I threw the TV on, and it was unmistakable within minutes of turning on the TV. And like I said, that's where, my gears started turning. I had friends in D.C., friends in New York, reaching out to them, and no chance to connect with them. Like I said, shortly after, contacted my commanding officer, and he was on the ball with it. He was making calls and connecting with people all day long, especially being in a reserve unit as we're in. But went into the facility and kind of took a pulse of where things were at. Some people in the facility didn't quite know. I think a lot of coaches they're busy working, and it might not have necessarily gotten out. But I think by the end of the work day, there was a clear plan, or at least the understanding by the NFL that, all right, this is something that we're going to have to address and come up with a unique solution. So I think that's where everyone kept talking, communicating, especially I just mentioned to Mason about my unique situation, right. Being able to communicate with the Packers like, hey, I'm doing what the Air Force needs me to do. The Packers, as I expected, I didn't have any doubts, 100% behind it. Whatever it takes, we're behind you. And I think that's where there was just some those honest conversations. And I think as we huddled together and had a very different and unique week, a lot of guys, I guess, were able to show that personal care they have for each other, as everyone healed and we've sort of, tied together and they all came together on it. And I think as that week ended up and it became a little more clear what the league was going to do, I think a lot of the other sports leagues were very similar, if I remember correctly, leading into that next week. We knew we were getting ready for a game. So I think we were able to kind of set our jaw and be like, all right, here's what we're going to do. And here's how we can move forward with it. And I think I think that was part of the healing process for all of us and coming to cope with things that have happened.
Man, we got Chris GIZZI on the Mason Crosby Show, former Packers linebacker, longtime strength and conditioning coach there, Air Force Academy grad, and obviously the iconic moment where he ran that flag out on the field 24 years ago, as we remember those events of 9/11 and what getting back to football meant. I was reflecting this morning, man, and I'm like, I don't know if I can get through, talking about it. Just, the emotion of what that meant. I remember my dad was on a plane when everything happened, and he had to get, he was grounded. He was luckily going west, but his plane got grounded, I think in New Mexico somewhere. And he got the first car he could and started driving back home, and it's like, you just kind of, you don't forget those moments, and they are just heavy. So I do want to move into like another, just kind of some thoughts. I see you all the time, Chris, down here in the Tennessee area. I know all the stuff you're doing, but just tell everybody like kind of what you're doing. As you're no longer the strength and conditioning coach there for the Packers. Chasing kids around, lots of different things. I know. Mitch is into WWE, but I know you're heavy into wrestling, and Alice is a big time wrestler. So just tell everybody what's going on as you're living life down here in Nashville.
Man, it's been a great move for us. As you know, my wife Jennifer, she's an Air Force graduate, also retired Air Force. So we have 4 kids, and certainly they missed, and they had a lot of good friends and a lot of great experience in Green Bay. And this was a new adventure for us. We've been here just a little over a year in the South Nashville area, city called Franklin. And it's just been a fantastic move for us. For me, it's just been be able to spend a lot more time at home, being able to help my wife with her venture, being able to be there for the kids. And man, I'm enjoying it. This is I've never lived in a place like Tennessee, and I love it. Maybe it's just the weather more than the weather. People here are great. Brother, it's great to see you, Mace, as our wives make plans for us to get together. And usually that's how it goes.
That's how it works, right?
Exactly.
That's how it works, right?
It's always a pleasure to meet up with the Crosbys, and we bring our they got their battle wagon, we got ours, and it seems like there's 42 kids running around Magley Green or in your backyard, man. It's been a great move for us, like I said, and I think for me too. I talked about this, like not necessarily in the business of football or strength conditioning anymore, but I'm still doing it. I think there's a certain pleasure in that. I'm fortunate to be able to just go that route and be able to help with my kids in the neighborhood, and with all different sports, football, baseball, gymnastics, wrestling, softball. Kids stay busy with a lot of different things. So I've just tried to take a chunk and do as much of that with them as I can. And it's really been a pleasure. I think we've had a chance to do that a little bit in Green Bay, but so much more now. And, this has been like I said, an awesome move, a great part of the country. And I couldn't ask for anything more right now.
I know, it's funny. Chris and I, so we live 2 houses away from each other in Green Bay. Obviously, I saw Chris every day at the stadium, and then it was like our kids were always running around, but it was like, when we were home and different things, we definitely, I feel like, hang out outside, just as like in a family setting, more now that we're in this Nashville area, doing our thing. And it's just been awesome. And I just want to ask you one more question before we let you go. Like, were you always, like, growing up, like, all, personality wise, you've always just been such a steady force. Obviously you work out, you work really hard to keep your body right, your mind right, all those things. Like, was that always who you were and what you were? Do you give a lot of credit to your time at the Air Force Academy, and then, what, the military and, going that route instilled in you? Did it change you at all? Or, just tell everybody kind of what that experience was, choosing Air Force Academy, and what, how that kind of shaped your life.
Man, that's a great question. And as you're laying that out to me, it's like I've been so blessed to be around so many great people through sports, through school. My father was a lifetime educator and coach, and I think he was the first role model I had in regards to just being a man for all seasons and being well-rounded and striving for excellence in everything you can do. I had a great grade school experience, high school experience at Cleveland St. Ignatius. And then I went to the Air Force Academy. And I'd say this about the military in general. The military doesn't make you who you are. It makes you who you are faster. Like, it just, you have that in you, and it kind of attracts those type of people. And once you get in it, it's just like a fertilizer. It's an environment where you're around like folks, and you push each other, and you get the best out of each other. It doesn't mean you always agree and it's all, rainbows. I mean, it is the military now. There's a lot of tough things you have to do, even in just training. But I really am blessed to be able to go to a military school. Was it always fun? No, but man, I'm so glad I had the experience. I met the people I did. And I think that's what it comes down to. The common tie with all this is just, I've been really fortunate to be around good people who stand for something more than themselves. And I just, that was who I was. So that got reinforced, those behaviors, that mindset, that ethos. And I think that's the stuff that we share with each other. And it's probably why everyone at the Packers forges together. I mean, that's the ethos in that building. It's been there for decades. And it was a natural fit. I mean, I'm not here politicking for the Packers or anything, but I think that's where I can tie it in. There's certain places where that's just how business is done. That place is one of them. My college was one of them, and looking back at my high school. So I want to continue that out with how we build our family, how we build businesses, how we make relationships in our community. So I think our behaviors kind of indicate what's going on inside. Certainly, none of us are perfect, but we all strive to do a little bit better each day. And I think we want to be awesome to each other. So no better time now than to be awesome to each other when we need it, when people are hurting and we need to have a tender heart, more so than ever than a day like today.
Man, Chris, well said, dude. And hey, I've probably never, not told you enough how much I appreciate you. I appreciate your service. Just the, steady man that you are, the dad, the father, obviously what you did, for our country and, just everything that you did for me there in Green Bay. Really appreciate you, Chris. Thanks for jumping on. Awesome to hear your perspective. And we won't forget, and we'll remember that moment. And you're carrying that flag, just cements it in our brains as Packers fans, as football, as sports fans, and as fans, people that just, appreciate what the military have done. So thanks so much, Chris. Really appreciate you.
Hey, appreciate you, Mason. You embody all those characteristics, man. And thank you for all you do, brother.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Over and out.
That's Chris GIZZI, former Packers linebacker, of course, carried the flag 24 years ago. Today was 9/11. So a week later, when the Packers finally got back on the field, led the team out with that American flag. Actually did it again 10 years later as well.
Yeah, he did.
And you probably remember that even better. 2011 against the Saints, September 8th, and he led that. He led the team out. Amazing individual.
Yeah,
great to have him on our team.
Yeah, I was going to say,
for sure.
I was
solid man. He still looks the part. I mean,
how good is it that
I go to battle with him?
He's on our side.
Yeah,
for sure.
I was going to say, not that we can only keep him to this, but we should do that every year with Chris. That should be something we kind of keep in the back there, keep that in the chamber. Let's do that every year.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Packers game tonight. Drew Wagner, Brewers just got swept at Texas. Sports is a great uniter, but it's also, it does come in secondary sometimes when real life happens. So a great reminder there with Chris, and great to have him on the air. And now we get to be distracted by the world of sports, which is what sports should be. It should be a great uniter. It should be the great distraction. As Chris started today, he said the greatest common denominator we have is sports, and I wrote that down, and I love that line, and I'm going to steal it from him blatantly. I'm ripping it off. Sorry, Chris, that's my line now.
It's mine now.
Exactly. Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, our Milwaukee baseball insider, covers the Brewers every day. He'll join us next here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Threw your arms in the air.
This is the Mason Crosby Show on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey and iHeart apps. Our thanks again to Chris GIZZI for jumping on. Absolutely fantastic. If you didn't hear that, or if you didn't hear any of our interviews on the air, you can always go back and listen to them on the Odyssey app. You can also use Spotify or Apple or iHeart. Just search up the Mason Crosby Show, and he is, and all of our segments are there. But especially Chris GIZZI. If you're just tuning in now, go back and listen.
Yeah, if you didn't hear it, go listen to that one. Yeah, he's just what an amazing amazing soldier, amazing man. Again, I said father, husband. I mean, he is the guy.
He checks all the boxes.
He is him. Yeah.
And thanks to him for joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Going back to the Fan Guest Hotline now, because our intrepid Milwaukee Brewers reporter for ForbesSports.com. He is Drew Wagner. Drew, welcome to the show. And can you fix the Brewers? Are they broken? Sorry,
I don't think they're broken. I think they're just fine. I think they had a bad series. I think they had some bad luck. It's funny because you hear the naysayers talk about how the Brewers, they use all these fancy stats, the Jack Stern nerd stuff. They don't barrel enough balls. They don't have high enough exit velocity. They don't put the ball in the air, this and that. And they do all those things for a couple days, and they come up with bupkis. Baseball, man, is more fickle than any relationship I've ever had. And that's not saying much. It's just,
those are some fickle relationships.
Yeah, baseball is brutal, man. It's absolutely brutal.
Not for Michael Hellman, it's not. Drew, not for Michael Hellman. For Michael Hellman, it's the easiest game in the history of Earth.
Michael bleeping Hellman. You add him up there with Chris Taylor, David Freese, who are the other noted Brewer killers in history.
Jose
He's right
Quintana.
Jeff Suppan on the Cardinals.
Yep. So, it's just how it goes sometimes. But you're coming home. You've got a pretty decent slate ahead of you. You got the Cardinals, the Angels, and then you're back on the road to face the Cardinals. You should be able to take care of business there. And, the Phillies have a tough schedule coming up, so you can recreate some separation in that suddenly tighten race for the 1 seed. So they got a chance now to get right. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I mean, listen, no one expected them to play 700 baseball the rest of the way.
It's fair.
It's just a tough stretch.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, sometimes, like in all sports, like matchups, it's just like some matchups just are not favorable. And you talked about it before they went to Texas, that this Rangers team had a lot to play for. They're playing for their postseason lives. They just say they were like ready to battle, and they played a great series. So, man, and it's crazy to think, like, when was the last time the Brewers were swept? Was that in July?
Nope, it was the first 3 games of the season. They got whooped in New York.
That's it.
They haven't been swept since.
That's crazy. I'm trying to think. I thought they might have got nope.
Maybe in May.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. So I mean, this happens more often than we have been accustomed to this season with the Brewers. So I like it. Let's take it with a grain of salt. Let's look at it for what it is. They're still leading the division. They're still looking good. What do you think at this moment? Because we haven't had we haven't talked about it much. Like, where do they need to improve coming off this Ranger series, coming into this next series against they're playing the Cardinals, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing is, and we've started to see some of it, is they need to start getting some length out of their starting pitching. And they've gotten it at times. Quinn Priester has been pretty reliable. They got some length out of Mizorowski the other day. They've gotten some length out of Woody. They need to get length out of Freddie. These 5-inning, 100-pitch starts are problematic. You can be impressed by his numbers, but that's problematic. And they just need to get back to doing what they've been doing, and that's putting the ball in play, moving guys over, generating offense, and not just trying to do it with one swing of the bat.
So you're telling us we shouldn't be concerned that that strategy is not is going to wear this team down, and it's just can you sustain that? Do you think they can sustain that type of ball, playing it the way they've played it all season long, going into the postseason and have success in the postseason here?
I mean, they've had success with it. We've been seeing this for 2 years.
Yeah.
You take away that one swing by Pete Alonso last year, and who knows how deep they're playing.
Yeah.
I'm not of the doom and gloom that they don't have enough power to win in the postseason. They have power.
Yeah.
They just don't try to have power. They're built off pitching and defense, and that's the two things. If you keep teams from scoring runs, your runs stack up a lot more. I think everything is totally sustainable. I just think that they kind of hit a rough stretch. They're tired. They're gassed. They're beat up. Even with the off day, you still played a lot of games in a short amount of time, a lot of close games. It happens. Come back home, get the home crowd behind it, sleep in your own bed, and build off that. I think they're totally fine. I think this is sustainable. I think reports of the Brewers' demise are greatly exaggerated.
Nice.
I love it.
Drews, who is most tired though? Would it be, and I not
Me.
right, yes.
Yes.
That is true.
Exactly.
Not player specific, but position specific. When you look at the starting pitching, when you look at the relievers, when you look at the hitters, which group do you feel like really needs that rest today, really needs that rest on Monday? There are a couple off days coming up here.
I think the good thing is they haven't used a lot of their leverage guys in almost a week.
Yeah, they've warmed up, but they haven't gotten into games.
Right. So those guys probably have got a pretty good rest under them. I think the position guys are probably feeling it somewhat. You got guys that are out there every single day. Frelick, he had a day off. I think it was last week. I think it's everybody. I really do. You get to this point of the year and you're not quite where you want to be yet. You've done most of the work. You're just tired, man. And it's just how it is. It's like a Thursday. It's not. You're over the hump, but it's not quite Friday.
Mm-hmm. I like that. That's a good way to put it. I was kind of thinking so in the National League, besides the obvious Dodgers, Phillies, which team kind of scares you the most for this Brewers team to face, come postseason time? We know the front runners and those top teams, but are there any teams that are kind of making a push, that are playing really good baseball, that we should kind of keep our eyes peeled for?
I mean, I'm still curious to see the Padres. Right now, the Padres and the Cubs are the only teams that have tiebreakers over the Brewers in the NL. And the Padres, not the Pirates, the Padres and the Cubs.
Yes.
The Brewers played the Padres early in the season. The Padres took 2 of 3. They play them again, I think, 10 days from now. They go to St. Louis and they go to San Diego. That one stands out for me because the Padres have been really good since the trade deadline. They made a bunch of moves, made a big run. They've been breathing down the Dodgers' necks. They're playing with a lot of fire right now. I think that's a team to look out for. And I tell you what, the Cubs in the playoffs is a team that I would be concerned about. They did win the season series with the Brewers. There were some close games in there. There were also some routes in there. They have played the Brewers well this year. Those two teams right now, they stand out to me more than anybody else, if only because they've managed to they're the only playoff teams that have had success against the Brewers this year.
Yeah, well, I was curious, and I totally agree with you. I love those takes, and I think
Mace, as we know, when it comes down to the playoffs, when you get in, and especially if you win a series, knock on wood, of course, we expect the Brewers to get a bye. Whoever wins that series is going to come in with momentum. Yep, and that's kind of the scary thing, is that that's kind of what we see. We see in the NFL playoffs all the time. Now the only team that gets a bye is the 1 seed, but it used to be the 1 and the 2. Well, a lot of times they'd face a wild card team that just had a huge win, and they come in with that momentum. That's the same thing in baseball. It's that team just won a 3-game series. Last year with the Mets, Alonso, basically it wasn't a walk-off, but he rescues them So the Mets go to the next series with like feeling like they're playing with house money and feeling great, and that's a lot. That's what happens a lot of times.
For sure.
I have, and I've heard people talk about that before. And listen, I have no doubt that Murph will make those guys be something during that time off. They're not going to be sitting on the couch. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you took them all to Chuck E. Cheese for a pizza party or something like that. That seems like a Murph thing to do.
I think they could play an inter-squad game, and like Murph puts like real stakes, like not real stakes, but like something interesting on the line.
Actual stakes.
Actual stakes. Actually, that
sounds amazing.
Where the losing team has to cook for the winning team or something, or at least pay at Carnivore.
Pay for it.
Pay at Carnivore.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Yep. So that'd be fun to see how that all plays out. But yes, there's momentum, but there's also the fact that if you're the 1 or the 2 seed, you're one of the best teams in the league, and you should come in with that swagger.
Sure,
I'm ready. With you. You got to come in with it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they push down the stretch here and just see if they can just get that momentum back and just have this thing rolling into that postseason. Because, that's ultimately the goal is you want to be playing your best baseball at the end of the year, just like football, everything. You don't want to come limping in where it's like, okay, like let's see if we can find something. Come October. So and I don't worry about this team. I know Murph's going to get them to where they need to be, and they're hungry and they want to push to get to that point.
And that's a stupid thing that I keep hearing from the Twitiots on the internet is like, oh, this is why they peaked too early with those winning streaks. I'm like, well, what the hell did you want them to do? Tank games on purpose?
Just wait.
They went on a 10-game losing streak. Like, well, what do you want a team to do? Intentionally lose games so they can win them later in the year? It's not how it works.
That is not how it works.
Tell them how it works, Drew. That is not the formula for success. Yeah. Oh man. Well, Drew, hey, really appreciate you. You get some rest. You got a day off. Yeah, no game today, so that's good for you. You can take care of all your projects, get your stuff done, and then get ready for the home stretch.
Suspension and brakes today, baby. Come on by. Bring a lawn chair. Bring some beer. Sit and watch. I love it. Flail tools around the neighborhood and swear. Be a good time.
Tommy, all right for that?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Tommy's in for that.
I've already known that Drew has been working on this truck now here for a little bit of time, and
he just wants to get to Tulsa.
Yeah,
he just wants to get to.
Just want to get to Tulsa should be the name of Drew Wagner's album. Like when
get me to Tulsa.
Just get me to Tulsa.
Tommy, I'll let you make the album cover for that.
Okay, I got it.
Love it. Awesome. Well, Drew, thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great weekend, my friend.
See you, boys.
Later.
Yeah, that's Drew Wagner joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. With half an eye on baseball, all of our eyes are focused on tonight. I know you guys started it at 9 a.m. Right away with the excitement that is palpable. We're barely recovered from Sunday, and here we are, game day Thursday night. Let's go, right?
It's game day. Yeah, it's on. We're just going to kind of, build up to this energy and excitement tonight.
We got to make our picks,
right? And our picks are coming up. So I'm going back and forth on my individual pick.
Yeah, we know.
It's not going to be what it was last week. Don't worry. Tommy, don't come in there and throw something at me.
Carlos Alcaraz.
I see him popping up. Get out of here.
Minus 4,000.
Yeah, he's playing in a charity event, guys. He's playing kids. I think he can get it done.
Carlos Alcaraz and Nolan Crosby are playing tennis.
He's going to bet on the mascot halftime game against the Pee Wee football.
Exactly. Come on. Those guys run them over. I love that action. I love that action. Somebody's betting on it. Might as well be me.
So I agree. Somebody's definitely, if it's happening, somebody's betting on it. He's Mason Crosby. Tommy Wirtz is here again. Our thanks to Drew Wagner for joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. My name's Mitch Nellis. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Hey, everybody, want to remind you about Underdog. It's the best place to make picks and win money all season long. It's easy. You just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions. We got a big game coming up tonight in the NFL. Jaden Daniels, is he going to go higher in his rushing yards? Not if Micah Parsons and his sack numbers have anything to do with it. What am I going to pick? Man, I'm not sure. I think Josh Jacobs finds the end zone again, so I am going to go over half a touchdown for Josh Jacobs. I haven't decided what else I'm going to take. Maybe I'll tweet it out later, but you should get on Underdog. You should pick for yourself. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code ThunderMKE to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code ThunderMKE. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 18 or over and present in Wisconsin. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Well, you can trust Mason Crosby, that's for sure.
Oh,
Dude is
right.
47-0 after 5 games this year.
Yes.
It feels like it. It feels right.
It feels
I picked Yannick Sinner for infinity.
Nice.
Just
Nice.
any game, any match he plays, I pick him.
Mason bet $4,000 to win $10, and he won.
I got it.
Mason now has $4,010.
Hey, a win is a win. A win is a win.
No doubt.
I'll take it.
Tommy, what are standings?
Standings after 1 week, it is Mason Crosby 4-1, Tommy Wirtz 2-3, Mitch Nellis 1-4 on the season to start us
three
off.
Games back.
Yeah, it was a good start for Mason.
The Brewers.
Yeah.
Mason is the Cubs.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Chasing them down.
We got some games this week. We got 4 football games. Bring your own game. Pick whatever you want. Even tennis, as you saw last week. First game to kick things off here. Do we want to go college football? Because what I'm seeing on the betting lines for our Wisconsin Badgers is minus 21.5. I also just read a report that it is very unlikely Billy Edwards Jr. plays in this game.
Billy Edwards is traveling. He is warming up, but he is
ideal.
unlikely to play. Danny O'Neal, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 403 passing yards so far this year.
Bama 21.5 point favorites. Mason, why don't you kick us off here with your Badger pick?
I saw this info too, and I'm just I'm trying to decide what I want to do.
Don't decide.
21.5.
Yeah. So, I mean, they could.
I mean, Alabama's offense isn't great. They only have 462 yards a game to start this thing out.
Only. Yeah. Yeah.
Their defense, they're all right, I guess. Oh, yeah, I mean, Wisconsin offense, their defense is good.
Oh, my gosh. Seriously, you can't
I'm taking the points and the Badgers.
Wow.
I will roll with them until they prove me wrong.
Okay, well, one more week of the Badgers for Mason. It sounds like.
Week.
Mitchell, are you riding? Are you rolling with the Tide, if you would say?
I hate the Tide so much.
Yeah,
I hate them.
I mean, to be fair, if this game ended 34-13. Right. That doesn't sound crazy, right?
It doesn't.
Exactly. Exactly.
Having married into a Tennessee family, I especially hate Alabama. I am taking Alabama.
Okay.
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. As the Badgers' number one hater from love, though, I am taking Alabama. I think this is the game that everyone realizes that, oh my God, the Badgers stink and they will not be good this season. Thank you to Middle Tennessee State. I hope you guys enjoy that $500,000 or $700,000 or whatever they paid them probably to go.
At halftime, they gave him a little bonus. Yeah, they're like, all right, hey,
like, dude, you got to chill.
Let us get this thing done.
Yeah, throw in an extra $100,000 for this.
For sure.
Let's get to our NFL now here. Do we want to go with, let's go Bengals at Vikings next.
Yeah,
okay. That is Minnesota favored by 1.5 over Cincinnati. I can go first on this one if you would like.
Yeah.
I am going to take the Vikings in this game. Ooh. I was pretty unimpressed with Cincinnati in the first game. I went against the Vikings in the first game. I think Minnesota has a whole different game plan for this week. I think they kind of looked over the Bears even a little bit. So give me Minnesota.
I'll go next. I'm taking the Dirty Natty. I think
you are.
They're the home dog, right?
Home dog. Yep. No, it's at Minnesota. It's in Minnesota.
Wait,
no.
Yeah. Wait, it's at Minnesota. And what's Minnesota favored by?
1.5.
1.5. Oh, is that change? He's changed it.
I don't like that at all. That's a terrible line.
Yeah, if it was in Cincinnati.
I'm still taking Cincinnati.
All right.
I'm still taking Cincinnati. I like it.
I'm going with the Vikings. I think they win. The
Vikings offense cannot keep up with the Bengals. The Bengals offense is going to have a day. Yep.
I don't think so. I mean, you saw what they score against the Browns.
Miles Garrett, man. The Vikings aren't suiting up Miles Garrett.
Fair enough.
That's true. That is true.
Right. Is that fact?
Confirmed.
Fact.
Miles Garrett.
Okay. That trade has not happened.
I'm just making sure that is true.
Still a Brown. Yes. Divisional matchup again. Bears, Lions. Lions favored by 6 in this game. That seems like a crazy number.
Take the over.
Mitchell, you start us off on this one then. Where are you going this way?
I take the over. I'm taking the Lions. I mean, they're at home. I think their offense will get back to form. Ben Johnson, it'll be a little house of horrors for him coming home.
Okay.
I'll take the Lions.
Mr. Crosby.
House of Horrors.
Horrors. Make sure you get that 2 syllables.
Horrors. Gotcha.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Don't spell it wrong.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lions. I'll take Lions. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, they're at home. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they bounce back. I think they're gonna be all right.
I agree.
I'm rocking with the Bears.
I knew you
Yeah,
were.
you are. You're such a
Horrible
such a
pick.
Charlie.
I
You are
mean,
such a Charlie.
I just think the Bears are better than we think they are. And Ben Johnson was super mad after losing that game and blowing that game. He comes back and sends a message to his coordinator. I think the Lions are kind of dog. I don't think they're that good, but I think the Bears keep it close regardless. Lions might win. Bears lose like 26-22. Couple safeties, of course, in the game.
Yep.
Now
as many safeties as possible.
we need our solo bets here.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm not picking this game, but my honorable mention: Oregon's at Northwestern. Oregon's favored by 28. Man, I just think those games at Northwestern are slogs.
It's tough.
I think Northwestern will cover that unless they're really horrible, which I'm not sure about. They might be truly terrible, but it's just hard to blow out a team at Northwestern. It's just a weird field, weird vibe there at Evanston. But the game I'm taking.
Oh, no.
I'm so excited for this game.
Don't take my game.
Favored by 4.5.
Okay, you didn't.
All right. At home. My Houston Cougars are going to whoop up on Dion and the Buffs Friday night.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mace. Houston just takes third string Colorado quarterback, who's now the starter, out behind the woodshed and just Houston and says, welcome to Houston, my friends. Houston, lay the 4.5. Let's go.
It actually, the spread's a lot. I thought it'd be a lot more than that.
I did too. I thought it'd be a touchdown.
I literally was looking at that game and I'm like, I can't do it because I want to pick Houston. I'm like, with that number, I mean, I'm
surprised it's not 7, 6.5, 7. I thought it'd be. I mean, 4.5's not so different, but it's different enough for me to take it.
And just a heads up, did you say the game versus the Vikings correct? Did you say Falcons or did you say Bengals?
Oh, you said Bengals.
They're not playing the Bengals.
Who are they playing?
The Falcons.
Why did I say that?
I don't know. I was looking at that because I was looking at the Bengals game for a potential for my pick. And yeah, they're playing the Jaguars.
I must have copied it wrong from the last thing here.
It's okay.
Okay,
it's
let's redo it.
Does that change your mind? Yeah.
I'm taking the Vikings then.
Oh gosh, come on,
Mr. Falcon over
You're
here.
the Falcon lover.
It is 3.5 though. The spread is 3.5. You want Falcons plus 3.5?
Yeah, I'll stay with the Falcons plus 3.5.
No, you don't. I mean, you can switch. It's a completely different situation.
All right. So
I mean, they're not the Bengals.
Falcons at Vikings. Vikings are favored by 3.5.
Why do I have Bengals?
I don't know.
No idea why.
Yeah, that was
weird. Everything else was
you know
right.
what? I'm taking the Vikings. I'm switching. I'm taking the Vikings.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Vikings 3.5.
The Falcons actually, I think their season was last week. Like they should have tied the game. They should have beaten.
Yeah,
they should have beaten Tampa Bay. They didn't, and I think they're going to go in a spiral now.
Okay, cool.
No
are
love
you?
for
Are we
Penix.
all still?
I'm
Are you
staying.
still on
Yeah, I'm
Minnesota?
staying with- yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Staying with the
That's
Vikings.
Penix with an X, everybody.
With an X.
Yeah, X.
Falcons.
That's I like that I have integrity in that because I feel like Mitch was going to lose that one, and that would have stung. But now you're just you're going to win that pick, and that's okay.
Mitch taking -3 on Houston. Mason, you have your solo.
I'm sorry, Houston's 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah,
okay, we're all over the place now. This is crazy. All right, I got it.
I'll take 3.
Well, are we doing Monday night games or no?
Yes.
Yeah, if you want.
Yes, we can do Monday night this year. Yeah.
I was looking at that Chargers Raiders game because just to troll Tommy a little bit because I love Justin Herbert, so I know it's his least favorite person. I'm gonna take that game. I'm gonna take Chargers. Chargers over the Raiders. Yeah. What is it at? What's a Potawatomi have?
I got it at 3.5 Chargers.
All right.
Yep. That's what I see. Chargers at Raiders. Chargers favored by 3.5.
Yeah. Raiders are bad.
Okay. And then for my solo game, I am going with old friend, Aaron Rodgers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, 3-point favorites on Seattle. I'm going to take the Steelers to cover that.
Yeah, going to Pittsburgh. That's a good pick.
Yep.
That was the other one I was looking at too.
I actually have I almost want to make another pick. So Tommy, last year we made 5 picks and then we added our bonus.
Right.
Because we always would pick like the big matchup in the NFL, which we're not doing now. Philly is at Kansas City, and Philly's only favored by 1.5. I love the Eagles in this game.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs. I think they will
stomp the Chiefs.
Yeah. Can I change? I don't want to do Monday night. I feel like
don't we change it?
Do we do like we don't have a
we did
don't
Monday
have
night last week because
but we don't have a guaranteed team. Yeah, I'm gonna change mine.
And Monday we can talk about it because we can talk.
Yeah,
about
I'd rather
picks
talk
'cause
about
it's
it
not all
about
Packers.
Monday. Yeah, let's
Okay.
let's jump.
You can change
I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna pick Rams. I'm gonna Rams to cover over the Titans.
Rams over the Titans.
what's that one at?
Rams
here?
5.5.
I think it's
Got it.
5.5. Yeah.
Rams at Titans 5.5.
I mean,
Um,
I love my Titans. I got a lot. I have some friends over there, but I feel like Rams should win by a touchdown in that game.
All right, cool. And then Packers, when I updated it this morning, at least were 3-point favorites. That is still the line, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
You want me to go? I'll go first. I'll throw it out there.
Okay.
Let's see. The over-under's 48.5. If the Packers can get the running game going, I think it goes under because they control it a little bit more. I think they learned that 25 minutes of time possession wasn't great last week. They want to do a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I think the Packers win this game. I think they cover, and I think it's like 24-17. 24-17 Packers. Just like a nice, clean win. I think, maybe there's a defensive stand, but I think it's more likely that they're up by 10. Washington kicks a field goal with 5 minutes left. The Packers probably don't quite run it out, but they don't give up a touchdown.
I like a little 4-minute offense.
Yeah.
Try to run the clock. I like that.
So 24. I'm going Packers 24-17.
I will also take the Packers to cover in this game. I'm going to go 31-21.
Oh, you like some scoring in this one, huh?
I do.
Right.
I'm all in on that. I want to see Green Bay's offense just carve tonight.
Same page, Tommy. I got Packers to win and cover. I have them going over, and I have my score at 30-24.
Okay. So we're all. I mean, I'm a little lower scoring than you guys are.
Yeah,
but we're
I
all
think
kind of in the same range.
I think there's gonna be a little more scoring tonight.
Yeah.
I think so as well. I think Packers defense looked awesome last week. I think they got something drawn up to score a little bit, but I think Matt LaFleur ultimately is Kingsbury still the OC there? Yeah. I mean, LaFleur versus Kingsbury play calling matchup.
Do you think he'll wear sunglasses on Thursday night?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I also think his shirt will be too tight. That will also.
Sure.
You don't even know if I'm talking about LaFleur or Kingsbury during
what
that.
am I talking about?
Mason, how wonderful is 64 degrees at kickoff, partly cloudy, but amazing. It is going to be perfect, perfect weather tonight.
Should be light breeze with being in the evening. Those are the games you dream about. I mean, that's perfect.
So to review, Bears Lions, Mitch and Mason are going with Detroit to cover the 6 points, while I have Chicago getting against the spread. Falcons, Vikings, we are all rocking with Minnesota as 1.5-point favorites. Badgers and Bama, Mitch, noted Roll Tide fan that we just established on the show, minus 21.5. I'm riding with that as well, while Mason, the most delusional guy who somehow is in the lead with our pick system here, he's going with the Badgers to cover 21.5 points. We're all rocking with the Packers to cover 3. Mason's solo game is Rams minus 5.5. Houston minus what was it, Mitch? 4.5 you had there, right? I knew it wasn't 3, so that's why I had to change it. And I am taking Pittsburgh minus 3 to cover as well.
I like that. Yeah, I like the Rams pick in the Titans because I'll probably be watching some of that game. So it's we'll at least get to watch me lose that. Hopefully the Titans. Honestly, I hope the Titans win just because
I mean, your whole identity is on the line this week, Mason. So just
my whole identity.
Wow.
Yeah, right. I mean,
why is that?
I thought your identity was on the line because you shaved.
Well,
that's true.
4-1. If you just hold the lead the whole season, then you will be
I'm pretty sure that's what I did last year.
Hey, wait, this is what we talked about for the Packers, right? So if I go 2-0, and I hold the lead for 2 weeks, do you start taking me seriously now?
Yeah. I'll start taking you seriously.
Good point.
If you get another 4-1 week ahead of us here, official ball knower is on the table.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Some recognition will be had. All right.
We will come back with Mason's extra points here on the Mason Crosby Show with Tommy Wirtz and me, Mitch Thunder Nellis. Remember, Middays with Thunder coming up next. Ryan Horvat's going to join the show. Greg Bedard's going to join the show. We're going to talk some ball. because I don't know ball.
Dive
So
in.
they're gonna come on and talk ball with me.
Yeah, let them talk ball.
Yeah, I'm literally gonna leave the studio and just say you got the mic for the next 15 minutes.
Like,
Like,
get it cut out and just stand have it standing in front of the sign.
Take
I
it,
love
lie down on the couch in the corner of the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Thanks everybody at Potawatomi, by the way. Great time there yesterday, Mason. They are like I told them you're coming next week. They are excited.
Oh, good.
They're excited to see you. So
what should I have? What should I eat? Or where are we going? We're going to go to
I think we're going to Dream Dance, man.
Dream Dance.
Yeah. I think
we got to hit that up again.
Absolutely. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. The Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of In Action Tonight, 7:15 kickoff. Our Green Bay Packers.
Whoop. Oh man, what a show. Yeah, day to reflect, day to remember. We had Chris GIZZI on at 9:40. He went to the Air Force Academy, was an Air Force Reserve in 2001 whenever he ran that American flag onto Lambeau Field after 9/11. So it was great to catch up with him. If you missed that, if you were not listening at that time, jump on the Odyssey app, go to the YouTube channel, go to the Fan Milwaukee, go to the Mason Crosby Show, listen, subscribe, like. It was powerful. I mean, the guy he's amazing. So really appreciate him giving his time, appreciate his service, and all those, those veterans in the military out there. We really appreciate y'all. I'm thinking about the game tonight as we get into my extra points, and I'm thinking Micah Parsons. And, my question to you is, Micah Parsons over under 1.5 sacks. What's your thought on that?
That's tough. I think the smart money is under, just because it's hard to get.
But are we smart?
But are we smart? And he did get 4.5 sacks in 2 games.
That's what I'm saying.
Against
he has the most sacks against the Washington Commanders since he's been playing, right?
Yeah. So
I'm gonna change your line to over 3.5 sacks between Van Ness, Gary, and Parsons.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm gonna say 4 sacks between the 3 of them.
Man, 4-sack game, like across
Again,
the board.
Do another 4-sack
awesome.
game. Yep.
All right. Hey, I'm going over. I think Jaden Daniels is going to come into Lambeau Field. They're going to want to try to, prove that they can pass against this defense, and they're just going to get after him. So,
wow. I will take the under 3.5.
All right. All right. Is this another line? All right. We got that. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
This is a side bet. This is a side bet.
Yep.
But we
side
should
number.
write it down.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a great number, Tommy.
3.5 between the
for
3
those
of them.
3 guys. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just going to say, if between the 3 of them, if they get 4 sacks, they're winning this game.
Edge is going to have 3 sacks tonight. He's going to steal all the sacks.
That way,
he's just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think across the board, if the team has 4 sacks, they're winning this game.
Yeah.
So they're getting it done. I'm really excited about this. I hope I know everybody's going to be watching. Everyone's going to be tuned in. What am I doing tonight? Yeah. I don't have much. Yeah, I don't have much going on. So I'll just be able to sit down, put those feet up, and get this thing going tonight. Again, like you said, 64 degrees, light wind, Lambeau Field. Like, what a better atmosphere than that? They're going to be in the white jerseys. Everybody's going to be rocking. I want to feel that place shake again. This is my weekly yelling at clouds, yelling at fans.
That's
like,
right.
Get to Lambeau Field and get loud. Bring it.
Hold on, Mason. Do they have to wear white?
I think they want them to, or they might be handing out white T-shirts too. I bet.
I don't think they are, but I think they should, because I think
one.
Most people don't have white Packers gear. Like, that's a weird color.
That's not one.
I'm not going out to buy extra white gear. Like, I'm wearing what I'm wearing. Like, whatever my jersey or my T-shirt is.
Take your cheese.
Get your white jersey.
Spray paint your cheese head white.
Ooh,
and now you have like a white cheddar on top of it.
A white cheddar.
Wow, white cheddar's delicious.
Yeah.
Can white cheddar? Can I say white cheddar's better than yellow cheddar sometimes?
I mean, depends.
All right.
Depends.
All right.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll take depends.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind going back and forth between like a white cheddar, like like queso dip.
Ooh,
you like throw that in there occasionally.
What are you gonna eat tonight, Mace?
Dude, I don't know. I'm hungry. Hungry. I didn't have breakfast this morning. I'm Wendy's is on like the TV. Yeah. I'm like, I am hungry.
Do you guys do food for the game? Like, will there be like?
No, there's no way. I mean, with 5 kids, we're running around. Like, I'm just going to be happy to be able to sit down and watch some of it.
Maybe some Taco Bell and some wine.
Oh gosh. Oh, dude, stop it. Jeez. Yeah, I'm trying to get back in shape here. I don't know. I can't go diving into that, but I probably will. Let's get it. Hey, great show. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for jumping on, Mitch. It was fun having you for a little bit today, and crush it there middays with Thunder.
You know it. That's what we're gonna do next.
Keep it rolling.
Wait. Yeah, absolutely. He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. The Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon and Andy Brady, specifically the official 5G network of our Green Bay Packers. Packers game tonight, everybody. We're going to have a lot of fun, I hope. Knock on wood, knock on Formica, knock on brain, knock on skull. Tomorrow, We're right back here at 9 a.m. with another edition of the Mason Crosby Show.
Yes, sir.
I was
All right, everybody, got to tell you again about all my friends at